What's happening, people? You're tuning in to Music and Motivation with Chris Davis. It's episode number 127. Today's Monday, May 17th. We're going to jam a little bit, then we'll hop into it, alright? This is track number 8 off my last album. 19th and Locust.
Oh, this is tremendous. 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 This is tremendous.
Track number 8 off my Twilight Driving album. That's 19th and Locust in the Ring. And I know that's such a weird title, man. As I said before, some of the songs off that last album are inspired by actual places in St. Louis. And I did my internship at a studio that was right on that intersection of 19th and Locust. A lot of my formative music training, as far as recording is concerned, happened there. And that's kind of my tribute, and also where I was emotionally while I was there, you know what I'm saying? So that's all in that track, bro. If you haven't already listened to it, go check out my Twilight Driving album. It's definitely available to listen to on Spotify right now. But yeah, dude, you can also find it on my website, davismusicpro.com. But how's it hanging, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. It's tremendous to be here with y'all. Super grateful. And just, happy to be back a little bit. I took the week off last week. I'll get there in a minute. But, thank you again for watching this. If you're tuning in, chances are you're a savage and you know what's good for you. A little bit of positivity, a little motivation to get you kicking through the week, to get you out there hustling like a freaking savage, watching my time. I'm 4 minutes in, I'll start cursing at 10, But let's see. If you're checking into this, thank you, man. This show doesn't happen without your continued support. So thank you for being a savage. Hashtag savage life. You know what I'm talking about. But let's talk about why I wasn't here last week, man. No episodes. I know that's kind of strange for me. I was down, dude. there's certain words we can't say on YouTube without getting flagged. So I'm gonna just say I was getting over the sickness, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The kind of sickness where you go get a test, and if it comes back positive, you ain't seeing nobody. And that's where I was at, man. So, definitely tested positive again this weekend. I got tested this Saturday, and I'm still showing as freaking positive. So, not entirely sure where I got this, but, I did my best. I did really good. I took all of last week. I didn't take it off, but I'm very grateful and blessed to have a job where I can work remote from home if I need to. It's not ideal, but I can, and I did all of my lessons from home like a savage. It's not easy doing lessons over Zoom, but you know what? Your boy's a savage. And also, we had our big end-of-season show this weekend at school, so, I was not putting that in jeopardy at all. So I stayed home. I did good, and we quarantined. And from what I understand, the show was a success. All of our bands rocked. All of my students killed it, which is that's the dream, baby. Is when your students who are also rockers are killing it. You know what I mean? That's awesome. And but yeah, the second I started having symptoms, I called in, stayed home that day. Actually, I took off that Thursday 2 weeks ago before the week I took off. So the Thursday 2 weeks ago. And then got really sick Mother's Day weekend. And yeah, so sick that I called my mother and was like, hey, I got to cancel. There's no way I want to put you or grandma in any sort of risk. And they've both been single vaccinated. They're waiting to get their second one. So I sat out on Mother's Day with the, knowledge that I'm going to take my mother out and treat her because she's awesome. Probably the best mom I'll ever get, But, yeah, that sucked. But, I had a fever. I was down, low energy, I knew it was a thing because, it was all in my nose, too, man. Sinus congestion and pressure and headaches for days, dude. So I knew something was off, so I, again, stayed remote last week. Did all my lessons from home so that nobody had to cover my lessons, and that's the real deal. Man, the biggest thing to me, man, most times is just that I'm not intruding on anybody else's time or energy, you know what I mean? I don't want to be a burden to anybody. So, I'm really glad I was able to hold down my lessons and not get people sick. But, through all this shit, man, the thing I've had to do the most is try to stay positive. Because last week, the whole reason the podcast didn't happen was I was just in a negative space, dude. I think the thing nobody tells you about the sickness is just the mental anguish and despair that comes with it, bro. You know me. I mean, I'm a pretty positive dude, I try to come at y'all with a smile every time, and, I know it's a hard-ass world out there. I'm just going to say it like it is, dude. It's a hard world out there, you know what I mean? And it's hard to put a smile on every day, but you know what? For you guys, I'm down, because y'all deserve it. Y'all savages, bro. And at the end of the day, there is something to smile about. There's something out there to turn your day around. We just got to find it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, dude, I couldn't come at y'all with where I was last week, dude, because it was not good. But it's in the past. Let's move on, man. Let's have a good week this week, dude. We're gonna freaking kill it this week. We're not quite 10 minutes in, guys. Still on the good Catholic boy 10-minute clock. But either way, I hope you guys are staying healthy, happy, and positive yourselves. You know what I mean? And if not, look, bro, that's what I'm here for today, dude. And I'm happy to be here and happy to run through it. I got some tips for surviving the week lined up. I got some tips for musicians and music lovers. Got the albums of the week because I did my homework. Hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? I did my homework. And we'll hang at the end too, you know what I'm saying? So let's hop into things, dude. Let's do our tips for surviving the week. Okay. Tip number 1 for surviving the week: focus on the positives. That's the biggest thing I had to relearn last week, man. And I had a few of my OGs remind me. Shout out to you, Caleb. But you got to focus on the positives in any given situation, dude, because some things shouldn't ruin your day. Some things just happen. Accidents happen. Shit fucks up. Kind of like the old saying, don't cry over spilled milk, man. But sometimes the spilled milk is more than just a little bit of spilled milk. Sometimes it's a tire blowing out. Sometimes it's getting a little sick. Sometimes it's, breaking something on accident, Shit happens, dude, but don't let it ruin your day, dude. Try to find the other good things that are going to happen or did happen that we can focus on them. You know what I mean? And, so what? Something, it's how we deal with those adversarial things that come up that defines our character. You know what I'm saying? So, focus on the positives, bro. Maybe know what I'm saying? Anyways, tip number 2, look at where you were and look at where you're going. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I make my goals every week, too, is I have those big goals in mind for where I want to go. And if I just keep knocking out small goals to get there every single day, well, eventually I'm going to knock off enough that I'm pretty close or can see the end or whatever, But if I'm still working at it, I can say, I can be happy with myself in accomplishing the little goals along the way. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes we put too much overarching need into the big goal at the end of the tunnel that we can't step back and appreciate the small goals that we've achieved along the way. You know what I mean? Not that we shouldn't keep pushing. Not that we shouldn't keep slinging like a savage. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate how far you've come, too. That's really what I'm saying, man. Look at where you've been and keep looking to where you want to go, That's a big one. Tip number 3, keep being a savage, man. Hashtag savage life. You'll know what I'm talking about. A savage isn't somebody who hustles somebody. It's a person who hustles for them. You know what I mean? Whether it's, and keep it legal, guys. Come on, keep it legal. My favorite and most, the people I look up to the most are those savages that keep it legal, baby. And do it with a smile and rock and roll. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about my dad. I'm talking about my uncle. I'm talking about my mother. I'm talking about my in-laws. You know what I mean? Those people out there who hustle like savages and are getting to where they want to be on their means, all legally, which is amazing, dude. So, if you out there, keep being a savage. If you're tuning into this, keep being a savage, bro. Because you got what it takes to be a savage. What does it take to be a savage? My main thing. Have love, loyalty, and respect in your heart, okay? That's that savagery right there. But then, 2, be willing to work, man. Be willing to work for a dream. Whatever your dream is, dude. Maybe your dream is just ending up having enough money to have 2 houses. One where you like to live and one at the lake. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful dream. Nobody can tell you it's not. You know what I mean? But it's you defining that for you. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding you. I'm not saying my dream is to be some famous person. My dream is to just keep playing music, dude. Play music as long as I can, and if I can make money somehow to support my family doing it, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Whatever means it is, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be flashy. I don't have to have a title. I don't have to be world renowned. As long as I got an instrument in my hand and I can buy coffee and pay for the roof over our head, we're good. We're good, and I'm a happy individual. Which is why I got, in the deepest depths of my, despair last week, I had to keep telling myself, bro, don't be, don't get depressed. Don't do this because you got so much to be grateful for, dude. You got so much to be grateful for. And not everybody has that, but if you're listening to this, man, I bet you have something to be grateful for too, man. So if you're really treading on thin ice this week, if you're really, I always tell you all to make a list of goals for the week, right? But this week, man, maybe make a list of things you're grateful for. And, if you ever get really in the dumps, you can just remind yourself, man, maybe pin it somewhere out of the way that people won't make fun of you for it, you know what I mean? But, like, still, who gives a fuck? Who gives a Who gives a flying fuck? Make a list of things you're grateful for, dude. But overall, keep being a savage, bro. Y'all are tremendous, dude. Seriously, y'all are tremendous. Hashtag savage.
Oh, this is tremendous. 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 This is tremendous.
Real quick, I'm going to take just a second for me. Y'all smoke them if you got them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? Let's do our tips for musicians and music lovers, shall we? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Oh man. Oh shit. That is not what I anticipated. Hold on. Alright, tips for musicians and music lovers. Tip number 1. Try not to get anxious before getting up on stage. I had to have this talk with a lot of people last week. I had to have this just top 3 things that I do to keep me from losing my absolute shit before a show. Because I ain't gonna lie, guys, before I get on stage, dude, I used to lose my shit, dude. So here's a couple things to do to keep you from not losing your shit before a show. And what I mean by losing my shit is I mean like getting super anxious, like body jitters, pain in my stomach, like sore throat out of nowhere, like you got something just like stuck there and it makes it really hard to sing. I'm not going to lie. But stage anxiety can take many forms. It can take the form of misplaced anger at your bandmates. That's the fucking worst, dude. And I'm guilty. I'm 100% guilty. That's why at this point in my life, I'm such a good person to jam with because I've done it all. I know fucking what's not good to do. I've learned from those mistakes because, man, I 100% took misplaced anger out on people before in my band, and that is not kosher. That is like the biggest no. Learn from Uncle Chris's mistake. Don't misplace your anxiety to the form of misplaced anger at the people who help you rock. You know what I'm saying? Okay? So let's talk tips. Tips to help. Number 1, hot tea. Okay, especially if you're a singer and you're having that throat thing that I told you about. 1, I mean, it can somewhat contribute to more body jitters, but it gets rid of the pain in the stomach and the throat shit and helps you sing a little better. Hot green tea. I know it sounds weird. Whatever kind of tea you want, honestly. Just make sure it's hot and not like the iced tea. The hot tea will really like open up the nasal and help your throat a little bit. So that's tip number 1, hot tea. It'll calm the anxiety, but a little bit of caffeine might help you jittering a little bit. That's okay. Give you a little energy for the stage. You don't want to be just pulling a Jerry up there and standing in one place, right? But tip number 2, let's see, for not getting anxious before a show, what do? I'm going to tell you the stuff that legally I can tell you I do. That sounds really bad, actually. It's either way tremendous.
Oh, this is tremendous. 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 This is tremendous.
Taking a drive, maybe there's a couple times even that I remember going with bandmates on just like a mini adventure to get our mind off shit. Like Oh God, I don't know why my head went here, but there was one time we were doing what we would call a backyard bash, where we were just doing a show in our backyard for as many people as we could, and they were fun. They were fun because shenanigans, right? But me, my drummer, and one of our roadies decided. Well, they had never been to Del Mar Loop before, and there were some Kansas City cats. So we were in town, and I took them to Del Mar just to see the sights, and I wanted to go to Vintage Vinyl. Shout out to Vintage Vinyl, they're the best. But down the road is the Scientology Center. And we had walked all the way up past it, and they were like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I think that's the Scientology Center." And they were like, "No way." And outside, every time you go past there, there's a free personality test that they advertise. And if you're over 18, you can go take it. But it's so scary because, man, I ain't kidding you, bro. And here's the deal. My drummers, again, we've had conversations about drummers. Drummers are out of their fucking minds. Every single one of them. And I'm sorry if you're a drummer and you're listening to this and you hear me talking. I mean nothing but respect. But the drummers that I've dealt with are all fucking crazy. Okay? It's just, I don't know what person it's. Maybe it's just the fact that you're hitting things. I don't know. But anyways, Matt wants to go take this free personality test at the Scientology Center. And he's talking Foreman into doing it. Shout out to Foreman. And I'm so against it. But we go inside, and they take us up to the very top floor of this, 32-floor Scientology Center. It's freaking insane. And it's scary old. And they lock the doors behind them as we take this test. And it's 800 questions, man. We got a show at fucking 6 o'clock, and it's 2. And I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? They lock the doors. Here's the deal. Me and Matt definitely smelled like weed. So, they weren't interested in us, but our buddy Foreman was wearing a sweater with, a collared shirt underneath it. So he looked like prime Scientology material to them. So they took him aside from us while they made me and him watch a movie on, I can't remember what his name is. We're going to say Elder Price. It's not true. I think that's the Mormons. Shout out to Mormons. But on the Scientology dude and how he was a Boy Scout and all this propaganda shit. And they took Foreman aside and were trying to tell him that we were the devil's agents and we were trying to convert him to Satanism and that Scientology would save his soul and that he scored this on the personality test and he would be perfect and all this stuff. And he was like, "Okay, let me think about it. I'll get back to you." And he was like, "Can we get the fuck out of here?" And I was like, "Yes, please. Let's get the fuck out of here." So we got out of there and got back in time for the show. But what I'm saying, guys, I know that was a lengthy story. What I'm saying is that definitely got my mind off of the pre-show jitters and instead on the Scientology. The Scientologists trying to brainwash us scared, you know what I mean? Anyways, so maybe go take a trip and get your mind off the show beforehand. Tip number 3, do not eat before the show. I've had this problem before, okay? Where you get super anxious, so you think by eating a lot, you're going to quench that anxiety. Wrong. Instead, you're going to either need to pee while you're up on the stage, or you're going to need to pee right beforehand, or you're going to need to pee halfway through the set, right? Or you're going to get so anxious that the food is going to vom up beforehand, and you're going to miss your stage call because you're in the bathroom vomiting, or 2, you're going to vomit on stage, and nobody wants to see that. So, don't eat before the show. Eat after the show. Feast after the show, but don't eat before the show. That's just my personal opinion. Do what you need to, but try not to get anxious before you go up on stage, guys. There's no need. No need at all. Tip number 2, keep listening to new music, guys. And I'm talking listen to Spotify playlists. That's a great way to find new music. Maybe listen to public radio stations if you're in St. Ludus. St. Ludacris. If you're in St. Louis, you can listen to 88.1 KDHX. That's my favorite public radio station. They the best. And tip number 3 for musicians and music lovers, support your local music, all right? Whatever way you can, you know. People are starting to venture outside again, so if you see a band out there playing, throw them $1 or 2. They're risking it for you, you know, for you to have a great night, you know. So support your local musicians, your local music scene, and those awesome local public facilities that help line you up good music, you know. It's all for our tips for musicians and music lovers, man. And without further ado, let's do our Albums of the Week segment, okay? I got 3 for you this week. So Album of the Week for jazz is going to be FKJ. That's his musician name, but it stands for French Kiwi Juice. So, again, FKJ. And his most recent EP is Ylang, and I'm sure that's spelled exactly how it's YLANG twice. YLANG. And it is phenomenal, bro. 100% phenomenal. We'll just turn over here a little bit. Look at y'all. What's up? Album of the Week for rock, we got Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. This has been what's getting me through this week. I'm trying to listen to different old rock that I really mess with, really enjoy, because we're doing that classic rock band now. So, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to find more stuff that's in our vibe that we could pull off, bro. And Bob Seger. Still love him, dude. Still the same, you know what I mean? But Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. And then I got Album of the Week for metal. We got Motley Crue's Hotter Than Hell. Okay, which that's my favorite album by them. So you should go check that one out if you're trying to figure out what the deal is with Motley Crue, dude. That one's a fun one. It's Motley Crue's Hotter Than Hell. And that's all for Albums of the Week this week, man. Thank you for tuning in if you've made it this far in the show, bro. Let's do a little bit of Chris Davis hangout and news, you know what I'm saying? But let's see. I got a new mix on YouTube at the Good Music for You / Chris Hippie Davis music channel. It's called River Vibes, and it's just in time for that summer chilling that y'all like. So go check it out. That's 20 minutes of it's actually tracks 1 through 5 off my last album. It's called, and again, that's River Vibes on YouTube, Chris Hippie Davis. My latest album, Twilight Driving, is still available on davismusicpro.com, but if you feel like streaming it, go stream it off of Spotify if you don't mind. Be the best. You the best, sweetie. Yes. New music in the works now that I'm, back to feeling a little healthy and ready to start jamming with people, bro. The new music is flowing out of me, brother. So, having a good time playing the saxophone and looping stuff so I can play the saxophone. So, I'm swimming in ideas over here. And then we got the new band. So, if you guys have any good band names, like you're thinking while you're at work, you think of a good band name, you're like, yo, that'd be good for Chris's rock and roll band. Send in a voicemail, man. You can always send us a voicemail to any of our social media, but you can also send a voicemail to anchor.fm or the Anchor app and go to the music and motivation page and leave a message where it says message at the very top. It's the best way to leave a voicemail to be featured on the show. Just do it.
Just do it!
Let us know how your week's going. If you're having a tough one, if some really good shit's happening, man, we love to hear some good news instead of some awful shit. So, always grateful to hear from y'all. Grateful for y'all to tune into this. So if you got into this point, you're a real savage. # savage life. Hey, if you make it to this point, I want you to comment in below, and put # true savage. Okay? Wherever you're listening, bro. Y'all are tremendous, man.
Oh, this is tremendous. 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 This is tremendous.
Shout out to my boy Farmer for being the realest. That's real. when I was freaking out, man, in the depths of despair, who do I call but my best man? So shout out to you for being the realist, bro. Shout out to my wife for really being the realist, for taking care of my dumb ass and standing by me with this whole time and being a sweetie pie. So, and then shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are tremendous, dude. This has been another episode of Music and Motivation, and thank y'all for tuning in, man. I hope you guys have a tremendous week. I'll be back Wednesday or Friday, okay? So, say a little prayer for me that this shit just, like, gets the fuck out of my body. I'm on the uphill swing, and I should be good by the end of the week to be out of quarantine. But, you know, be good, you savages. Mad love and respect. Let's find some music for us. Let's see if I can find the music real quick this time. Probably not. I'm the worst. Jesus Christ. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sure y'all are enjoying this. Hold on. Where the fuck did it go? Okay.
It's tremendous. 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 Tremendous.
Smoke if you got 'em.